number 98, I would imagine this would be a huge band for you, possibly. INXS, just when playing something new, this was probably, I'm going to guess this was something exciting for you to play INXS. This from their, oh shoot, what was the name of the album?
It's
Was
Listen Like Thieves.
Listen Like Thieves. Yes.
Yeah, INXS was that band that really hit mainstream stations. So it was not on the fringes of, alternative that wouldn't make it on to mainstream. And it would also provide a lot of other, catalog over time. And they were a band that seemed to thread together to other sounds, unlike some other alternative sounds mashing up against mainstream. So yeah, big band for many of my stations.
Yeah, and as I also mentioned, they played 52 shows in the U.S. They were really working hard to break into the U.S. Did you get a chance to ever meet Michael Hutchence or the band?
Did not. And it's so sad to this day when people think of the band and think of Michael Hutchence, they only think of one thing, how he died, right? I mean, that's sad.
Yeah. But, well, Holly and I still think of him as a great performer. He's just a dynamic presence. And were you into this, Holly? Like this album?
This was not my favorite INXS album. I prefer the two prior to this one, Shabu Shuba and The Swing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like this. I was a huge INXS fan, so I liked it. It just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, this was the first song of 4 from their album, and they did straddle alternative and album rock. I imagine that in Los Angeles it was played on KLOS, and this was a song that this is a band that was alternative but yet mainstream at the same time. It was kind of a fine line that they were able to kind of thread the needle there.
They had such a great presence. They're just with, Michael Hutchence, but the band members, they were great musicians, and I miss them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. Yeah. Well, the band. Yeah, I know the band kind of they're sort of still together.
I can't with the did they do the Journey thing where they replaced the singer on a game show, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The Journey
sounds closed-minded, but I just can't.
They were essential for mainstream stations, and other bands were as well, because these mainstream stations needed an infusion of some new stuff,
Right.
And it was rocking enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did make number 24 on the mainstream rock charts. There wasn't even an alternative rock chart back then. This was it.
So when did the modern rock chart debut? What year? Billboard and I guess in R&R.
For some reason, I feel like it would have been in the early 90s, but I'm not sure.
It was late. Yeah, that's when.
Probably, 90 or 90 maybe. Yeah.
This is when it finally took hold. But because there were so few, it took, it was just those few outliers there. I guess in DC there's HFS and and LIR. Usually they were all on the coast. There weren't too many.
There was WFNX in Boston also.
Right.